Hi guys, welcome to your grade 7, 8 and 9 analysis of remains. It is by no means everything, it is just some keywords. Please check my other YouTube video for everything you need on the poem. I'm going to hone in on judicious quotes and language that is missed. I'm going to look at the adjective another. Your literal meaning is very similar to, of the same kind of category. Now that there is exactly what we need when it says on another occasion, because it has awful connotations that this type of incident has happened before and it's going to happen again. So when they shoot this arguably innocent person, perhaps it has happened before and it's happened again. And what we see from Simon Armitage there is the awful effect of post-traumatic stress disorder on people returning from war. Also, this then links them to the line, all of the same mind, me and somebody else and somebody else. As I say, the implication that PTSD influences actions and judgment, and that actually you can't function humanely once you have returned from war. The next one I'm going to pick up, and again, seems a little bit odd and obscure, is occasion. It's a noun. It means a particular time, especially as marked by a certain occurrence. Now you get on another occasion together, look at your syntax. So that means that yes, this type of occasion has happened. So have they done this type of thing before? There's a notion there that we can't, arguably, and this sounds awful because I've never been to war, we can't trust our soldiers once they return. Again, in the dictionary, we've got a special or important time, well, there's been the death of somebody, the immediate or incidental cause or reason for an action. So look at that, the immediate cause of an action. Well, they open fire because they think there's a looter robbing a bank. And interestingly, and I tried to get mine to do this, the origin of the word from Latin, I'm never going to pronounce it, something like occasion, is to fall. Now, obviously, in this poem, metaphorically, the fall is of our soldier mentally. Probably and possibly aren't judicious, but we can make them judicious in our explanation. Adverbs, yes, probably and possibly shows it's uncertain. But look at the syntax of the sentence. If you are after a grade 7, 8 or 9, the way it is ordered, it adds to the anxiety and the harrowing notion that they have opened fire without being sure, because we get probably armed, but possibly not. So again, look at your syntax and your caesura there, that divides the two. But on both sides of the caesura, you've got that hesitation. So we see that actually what has happened is, on another occasion, we acted in haste. So again, you're probably thinking, oh my God, just picking out really obscure words, but actually it's an adverb. It acts as a discourse marker. If you haven't done discourse markers, it's what we use in speech. So someone like me, I say all the time. It's like when we link something on in the way we speak. Therefore, we've got a conversation happening here, almost a conversation, that then adds to then. We are getting a narrative event of what has happened in a factual structure, as if he's recalling what has happened. Now, there's something military in this. There's connotations of being programmed by the military to, I suppose, program to recall event. Has it happened? On an occasion we shot a looter robbing a bank, and then this has happened. So this is before he hits any emotive language. It links to the use of the noun story as well, as if he's telling a story. It's not really a story in this instance because it becomes an anecdote of something horrendous. Pronouns, we get a mixture of the personal pronoun I and the inclusive pronoun we. So we get the moment where the narrator blames himself, and we get the drinks and the drugs and the latter sleeping and dreaming, and he can't do those things. But then he also combines and mixes himself with other people. Now the problem we've got there is the inclusive pronoun supports the underlying notion in the poem that they are all trained in the same way and that they lack any individuality. So where one might not have opened fire, they are all trained in the same way. So all three let fly. Sleep and dream. I tell mine this in preparation for Macbeth, so it's not going to hurt. Alfred Alder believed that dreams were emotional preparations to solving a problem in real life. They are disturbing. Usually they disturb our common sense and give way to something private. Well, obviously his dream here is more of a nightmare, and he's given way to something private, i.e. murder, isn't he? The subconscious is also a memory bank, according to Alfred Alder. Now, when he taps into his subconscious, i.e. he can't sleep and he's dreaming, then we realise that we are accessing the part of the brain that perhaps the soldier doesn't want us to be aware of, which is that he is traumatised and stressed. and distressed, and therefore we see these awful feelings at the end of the poem when we get that link to Lady Macbeth, who sleepwalks, his bloody life in my bloody hands. A lexical field of destruction is associated with guilt, arguably destroys him internally and externally when we get things like torn, burst, flush. As I say, it links to Lady Macbeth because she is destroyed via her subconscious internally, and then she kills herself. So we have this massive conflict between the conscious and the subconscious of the soldier, as in your more obvious thoughts and the thoughts we try to hide. Now, as I've said before, there's a lot to say on this poem. My other video is way longer, and it taps into the animalistic notion of the tosses his guts in the back of the lorry, all of those things. I just wanted to hit, I suppose, more obscure language here. But as I say, there's a whole playlist there on the poems. There's a whole playlist on comparing the poems with full marks on there. I hope this has been useful. A massive good luck in your English literature exam.